Well, hello again. I'm sorry that this took a little bit longer than I had planned to do. I've just been getting to a completely new schedule, and this was like the first time in a while that I thought I can actually record for once. But we are back in the saddle again, and I promised you a Q&A, and here it is. Quick little channel, like, not really update, but more just like a concern that I have. In my last couple of community posts, some comments keep getting removed, but then they come back a few days later. I'm not really sure how that's happening or what's going on with that. It's not me, it's probably YouTube, but I have no idea what's going on with that. So if you see your comment removed, I never remove comments, so I am sorry that that is happening to you, but hopefully it fixes soon. It hasn't happened on a actual YouTube video yet, so hopefully this won't happen with this video. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to the questions. I was going to do hater comments as well. I don't even like calling them haters because I know they're most likely trolling, but I was going to make a separate video for that later down the line because there is a lot of them, and I kind of just wanted it to be actual questions that people had for this video and for people who are fans, which is what I think you guys want to see more, if I'm being totally honest. So we're going to at least answer the questions first on the video in question of where I asked you guys to leave questions for me. So we're going to do the video first, and then we're going to go back to the community post, which actually has a lot more questions. The first one I'm going to respond to is, do you have a Discord server, and why not try animating? Believe me, I wish I can animate, but currently I do not have the time nor the resources to learn how to animate. Not that I wouldn't like to try in the future, but no matter what I do, I could not make something as professional as pretty much anybody out there already. Mine would probably be like mediocre at best. I'm not putting myself down by saying that, I'm just saying that's not really my area of expertise. But that being said, I wouldn't hate it to try it. I would love to try it. I have like zero time at the moment because I'm in like my last semester of college, so we are already on a time crunch. As for the Discord server, I've been on and off about wanting to do a Discord server for a while now. I've actually joined a couple, but managing Discord is like a lot of time as well. And plus there's a lot of problems that can come along with it. And I just don't really have the time, and I can't really spare the stress of running one at the moment. So I would like to do one in the future, but not in the immediate future, if you know what I mean. I at least want to get to a point where I'm not totally stressed about everything at the moment. The next question that we have here is, do your friends know you're a furry? Only one person knows, and I feel like that number is going to grow, but not by my choice. If anything, how they responded was just like, I don't mind. And you know what? That's like the gold standard around here, isn't it? Honestly, getting that reaction was probably made me a lot happier than just like the kind of thing, but it's alright, it's good. So I have a couple questions that I'm just gonna answer like kind of all in one, but they're all like relatively talking about the same issue. So this one says, what's your problem with your voice? In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with it. Just have confidence, there's nothing wrong with it. And then another question that basically said, you sound like Penguin Zoe. It's not so much that I am like ashamed of my voice, but there was a video talking about how I adjust my glasses in my fursuit, And people kept saying in the comments, I did not expect such of this face to have such a deep voice. And it's like that's kind of the reason why I apologize that you had to hear my voice, because you're like, oh, you have to look at such a face and get basically a Charlie voice out of it. Not so much that I apologize, but I also kind of just find my voice a little nasally, and the way that the head is made, it just makes my head echo. So it's kind of like a weird version of my voice that I never heard. So I appreciate that you guys like it. It's just, it's very weird for me to hear. So that's why I've said I'm sorry. These next set of questions are actually from my community tab. There was 2 people in particular that left comments, and both of them got removed. No idea why. That was not my doing. I was actually very upset because I was like, look at all these questions I get to answer. Why are they not there anymore? Luckily, I read them over a few times, so I remember some bits and bobs of it. Luckily, I only have to do that with one, because one of the people whose comments got removed actually decided to update and give me his comment again, so thank you for that. Unfortunately, I have not seen the other comment since then, but I remember most of it, so when I get to that comment, I am so sorry. I have no idea where that comment went, but hopefully I remembered all the questions from it. But if not, leave them in the comments below, and I'll just answer them right there, because I feel bad that I can't really answer them in this video. So this is definitely a lot of questions for this, so this is actually kind of good for me, but let's just go through them one by one. First question is, if you had a favorite song, which would it be? Believe it or not, I don't really listen to a whole lot of music, so this is like a very challenging question for me. It's not that I don't listen to music, it's more just I don't pay attention to like what song I'm actually listening to. But then I just like really like the beat. For me, this is going to be a very specific answer. There is a YouTube video that did like an original song across a few clips of the movie Time Machine. I'll leave a link in the description, but ever since I've heard this, it's like inspired me to write a story based off of that song. So I think, if anything, that is my favorite song, just because it inspired one of my stories that I've been planning to write. It's all in my head, I just have to write it, but every time I hear this, it inspires me. Next question is, do you like video games, or do you get tired from playing the same game multiple times? I wouldn't necessarily call myself like a huge gamer or anything like that. I do enjoy lots of games in my free time. Probably the one I play the most is Minecraft, believe it or not. It's kind of just like a relaxing game to get away from all the stresses that I have to be dealing with all the time. So it's definitely a relaxing game for me. But probably my favorite video game is another specific answer. It is Lego Indiana Jones for the Nintendo Wii. It's like a game that I have been speedrunning for a while now because I just know the game so well. It's just like that game that I was attached to when I was younger, and now I just like can't let it go. If you had a favorite movie, which would it be? For me, this is like a very straight answer. My favorite movie of all time is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It is by far my favorite movie of all time. I don't think it's like the best in terms of like storytelling or whatever. For me, it's more sentimental reasons, and plus I just really love Indiana Jones too, and I think that's like the perfect ending to like his whole trilogy. And I don't know, it's just for me, it's like my most favorite comfort movie. Will you ever make your own custom fursuit? kind of like a similar answer to what I had before, where I just don't have time, unfortunately, to be doing stuff like animating. Like, I don't really have time for it. For fursuit, I would love to make one in the future and learn how to make my own, but that requires time, and I know it's not as hard as some people would say it is, but also it's not as straightforward, and it does take time to practice. So I would love to, I just don't have the time. I would love to at least commission other people when I have money, but at the moment I don't have time nor the money, so this guy is staying for me with that. Now, this next one is in question in theoretical. If you had one choice, what would you choose to be gifted to you? Telekinesis, X-ray vision, or invisibility at will? Now, here's the thing. I've seen Chronicle, alright? Like, I think invisibility would be cool, but I don't know, it would just be... I'm not sure, like, for me, I couldn't think too much to do with it. I know that's not true. You could do a lot with it, but my point is that for me, I wouldn't really have too much use for it. And X-ray vision is also something that I feel like has a lot of use, but for me, it doesn't really have too much use. Technically, all these powers don't really have too much use. But I think telekinesis would just be fun. It would just be a fun adventure to use, and I don't know. I could just basically play games with rocks. Could I make myself fly with telekinesis? I'm not sure. I'm afraid of heights anyway, so I would just lift other stuff up. And the last question that this person had, would you rather become the strongest or the smartest? That's a toughie. Even though I would like to be the smartest, I also don't want to be, because you know too much. And knowing a lot, I feel like kind of puts a little burden on your mind, your stress, your mental well-being. But it would be cool. But if you were the strongest, like, you could just lift anything. When I worked as a laborer, oh my goodness, like, any job would just be like, you know, picking up Tic Tacs. I'll probably go for the strongest, mostly because I don't want to be the smartest. A few other questions that appeared in that community tab before I get to another big list. One comment just said, when do you plan on eating an apple? It's kind of hard. I will say this next comment made me laugh. It said, when is the Amorous review? Is it weird I knew about that game before I joined the fandom, and now I'm here, and I knew more about it then than I did now? Young kids, don't look up that game. But for a surface level review, that I'll just keep it very surface level. For a free game, it offers a lot, so at least 7 out of 10. Don't look it up. And now these next set of questions are actually from a viewer of mine that I appreciate a lot. Unfortunately, it was one of the comments that got removed, and I can't find it. And it probably, by the time this video goes up, it's going to be back for some reason. I have no idea why that's happening. But I'm so sorry that that comment got removed, but I'll try to answer the questions that I remember from it, because I went through it in my head before it got removed. I remember one of the questions being like, what's your comfort food? And for me, it's kind of a weird answer, because the food that I would just like make when I come home from classes or from work or something like that would be like my own little salad I would make. It would be just lettuce, freshly shredded cheese, and Italian dressing from Olive Garden. I wouldn't say that's my comfort food, but it's the food that I make the most. I probably sound like a fatty when I say what my actual comfort food is. It's a double cheeseburger from McDonald's with extra cheese. And for some reason, I have to let it like cool down to room temperature and then I eat it. I have no idea where that started or how it started. But to me, that's just like the food when I feel like my lowest. And luckily, that hasn't been a whole lot because I've been getting better. But every once in a while, it hits home, you know? It's that food that you're like, oh my goodness, that feels nice. I think another question was, do you get upset when people mix up what a therian and a furry is? Before I answer this, one thing I will say is that while I myself am not a therian, I appreciate and respect those who are. Like, you're just trying to be yourself and you're not afraid to, and I think that's just fantastic. Don't let anyone get you down about being who you want to be and who you feel like your soul needs to be. But I don't necessarily get mad when people mix up those two different fandoms because I get it. Like, I feel like those two may have the most in common because they're both like animal based. I think the only time I really get mad is when people who don't understand the fandom try to criticize the fandom but using the wrong definition. Like, I don't agree with what they're saying at all. It just seems very weird that they're trying to like bring down the fandom through the wrong definition and saying, hey, I'm right. I think that's the only real time I get like upset with those types of people is because like not only are you misrepresenting one fandom, but two, and you're trying to bring both of them down because you don't understand. I feel like that's the only time I really get mad at those, but I don't hate the person that says it, but it's whatever. I just really wish people would understand what each fandom is before actually going, hey, I know what you want. Another question that I remember this comment saying was, what do you have to say to the young people who are interested in the fandom? And to that, I'll say a couple things. Firstly, like in the real world, be careful. There is a lot of bad people everywhere, and I feel like you really need to pay attention to the warning signs if people are trying to cross your boundaries or what they're doing sounds weird to you. Either let them know, block them, and let them know that what they're doing isn't right. But on a little bit more of a positive note, that's not to say don't join the fandom, just please be careful, because I've heard horror stories of the bad side and what it does to younger folks. But also, don't let the haters get to you either. I know they're not haters, that they just want to troll on something that they don't like. But at the same time, their words mean nothing because they know nothing about you. Do you know how many times people have like put fatherless in my comment section? Like I said before, I just laugh at those because I'm like, guys, did you know that my dad helped me pay for the suit? If it's really getting to you, just remove the comment, block the person, whatever you have to do. But don't let it get to you because it's your happiness, not theirs. Like, they want you to change who you are because they don't like it, even though you've never met them in person. They went out of their way to look at you and say, that's weird. You shouldn't do that. That doesn't seem right to me. I'm like, I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm just being happy when I'm happy. I think those were all the questions. I think I've answered some of that person's questions before in like other people's comments, so I'm so sorry if those were not all the questions. I don't know what YouTube's doing with those, but I just want to take another moment to say thank you. When I made that video last, I think I was around 900 subscribers, and now I am 1,600 subscribers, which is wild. Like, thank you. Like, I wasn't even expecting to go that much past 1,000 subscribers, as much as I wanted to just be at 1,000 subscribers, but wow, thank you. I'll probably do another Q&A a little bit more down the line. Definitely not my next video. I'll probably be in like 20 videos. Hopefully this was just a good introduction to who I am and what I do, and just to get to know me a little bit. But if you do have questions for me, leave them down below too. While your comment might not have made it into this video, I would definitely like to answer it down below if you can. For my next video, I actually have a bit of a surprise of a new series that I want to do. I don't know, unfortunately, when I'm going to get to it. Maybe next weekend, hopefully next weekend, but I can't wait for it to actually start making cool content. But thank you for everything you guys have done. In the last couple of days especially, some of the nice comments that you guys have left, it just really brightened my mood and made me see a different perspective, and I just wanted to say thank you. But I think that's it, at least for today. I'll of course be active in the comments like usual, but I just hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful month, and hopefully a fantastic 2024. So thank you so much.